Brooklyn drill legend.
Found the inspiration for his career while growing up with an older brother who used to love to freestyle around their family home. This lit a fire under Bizzy to master his own skills when it came to hip-hop, and by 2019, he had committed to his path by stepping up his consistency and dropping his breakthrough hit, Don't Start. Listen to that ominous tune for even a few moments and you'll quickly come to understand that Banks' music finds comfort in survival and perseverance. Pain and violence have been a way of life for him, and the Brooklyn drill sound is how he chooses to share his stories. But after rising to the top of his industry, Bizzy Banks recently hit a major roadblock and found himself in prison facing some very serious accusations. So how did Bizzy Banks manage to escape his tough and tumble upbringing only to get pulled back down once again? Well, stay tuned to our newest episode of Before They Were Famous to find out. But before we begin, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to make sure that you never miss an episode, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get right into today's story. All that good shit. Bizzy Banks was raised under the arguably even cooler name of Majesty Blessed Moses. I don't know, maybe that should have been his first.
Majesty Blessed Moses? What is this nigga, a saint, buddy?
The arguably even cooler name of Majesty Blessed Moses. I don't know, maybe that should have been his first rap name. He was born on October 24th, 1998 in Brooklyn, New York. He and his family then moved around a number of Brooklyn and Queens area neighborhoods before finally settling in East New York. Unfortunately, by the time that Majesty hit elementary school, he found his family ripped apart. His Trinidadian father was deported back to his native country, and his older brother was sent to prison. This left Majesty as the de facto man of the house, with two sisters and a mother, a devout Rastafarian who spent most of her time working to make ends meet for her remaining children. I didn't know Trinis were Rastafarians.
When I was little, my mom's a vegan. So it was like I basically ate whatever she made. So I was like forced to eat this. For the people who probably criticize him, it tastes like chicken.
Now, as you might imagine, growing up in a Rastafarian household meant that his mom kept things pretty strict. In fact, Majesty never ate meat as a child, and every Saturday from 6 in the morning until nightfall, he had to fast while spending the majority of his day in prayer. He didn't particularly care much for this way of life, but looking back on it now, he believes it trained him to become a better person. Due to how busy his mom was on a regular basis, Majesty would oftentimes stay at his grandmother's, where he says he first began to dip his toes in the trouble. Because after all, as he likes to point out, grandparents will let you get away with anything. But he found himself wrapped up in more troubling behavior than ever. One constant in life that he always kept coming back to was music. Around the house, his mother would often listen to reggae, while his older brother was far more interested in artists like Lil Wayne. In fact, it was listening to his older brother's Lil Wayne mixtapes that inspired Majesty to begin freestyling at lunch with his friends while attending George Gershwin Junior High School. Can't mispronounce New York schools, man. They get mad.
What was your favorite Wayne project?
I fuck with mixtape Wayne. So I'm gonna say the Drought 3, that's my favorite mixtape by him. The Drought 3, he went crazy. Yeah, he was doing beats like Upgrade You.
Get this, the school even had a program encouraging their students to rap, but the only catch was there couldn't be any cursing. So after class, he and his buddies would hit up the nearby park or a local McDonald's and battle rap, without the teachers looking over their shoulders. And soon enough, drill music became the soundtrack to their lives, from the dance-infused singles of Bobby Shmurda to the battle rapper approach of Bambino, and onwards to more recent artists like 22G's and Chef G. Majesty and his friends gradually became more and more influenced by this genre that was overtaking their city. But even though he was having fun expressing himself through music, he never really took the idea of becoming a rapper all that seriously. Not until after he graduated high school and was on his way to college. Then, in what he feels was a divine turn of events, Majesty walked into his very first college class late with a bad feeling in his gut. When the professor asked him if he was supposed to be there, the kid replied no and walked out, never to return. And from that point forward, he decided that his true calling was music.
I went to the building, right? And I was with my son 40, and we late. So I'm looking at the door numbers to see where my class at. So I get to one of the doors, and it was my class, and the teacher looked at me, and the whole class looked at me. He you supposed to be here? So I'm like, nah. I kept walking.
See, rappers always lie and say that their teacher told them that they weren't gonna be Usually it goes something like this, so I appreciate the honesty. But just as he got serious about his craft, the law got serious about him. 2019, a short stint in jail forced Majesty to sit on the sidelines as the drill subgenre exploded outside of his cell. Then, after beating the case, he left jail behind and solidified his drill sound with his breakthrough song. To kick off his rap career, Majesty needed a strong moniker. So instead of using his amazing government name, he decided to go with the childhood nickname of Bizzy and combine that with the last name of battle rap legend Lloyd Banks. Battle rap legend Lloyd Banks. You know what? I've done enough videos on Lloyd Banks that no one can say shit about that, but Lloyd Banks is not a battle rapper, bro. Someone tell Sean. Soon afterwards, he'd unleash a series of popular singles like Saucin', Dead Presidents, and his breakthrough track, Don't Start, which would earn him widespread national attention.
So we were just listening to whatever music I had, but I ain't had that much music. Like, I just came home or whatever, and I wasn't consistent before I got locked up. So it's like, so we just listening, and we played Don't Start, and they was like, shoot, Don't Start. So even the cameraman listened, he was like, yeah, Don't Start.
After racking up millions upon millions of streams on digital platforms and YouTube, Bizzy would be offered a label deal with Atlantic in March of 2020. And from there, he'd go on to produce his debut mixtape, Get Money Take Over Volume 1, which was chock full of songs that showcase Bizzy's unique sense of storytelling, including Top 5, Quarantine Freestyle, and Extra Study. Not looking to take his foot off the gas, Bizzy would get right back into the studio and record his follow-up project, Same Energy, which would drop about 8 months later in July of 2021, further cementing him as the singular Brooklyn drill artist to measure everyone else against. Of course, even with that type of success, Bizzy was more than aware of the general consensus that people have towards drill music. As the genre has become more and more prominent in New York City, local authorities have been very open about their belief that it perpetuates violence, and that they've been keeping close tabs on young and up-and-coming rappers like never before. Bizzy discussed this troubling trend with Pitchfork by telling them, "Our music always gets labeled as negativity, but I think the reality is all visible rappers have a target. Sometimes it's from someone you don't even have beef with, sometimes it's from the police. They're who really worry me. I try not to bring those thoughts into my atmosphere." Well, try as he might, even Bizzy Banks could not outrun the long arm of the law. After establishing himself in 2019 and then blowing up in 2020, by May of 2021, Bizzy had earned himself enough money to move his family up out of New York and over to a suburb in New Jersey. He made the move because he knew for as long as he continued to live in the Big Apple, he'd always have a target painted on his back one way or another. He explained his reasoning to Pitchfork, telling them that when you're home, you, quote, have to be on your P's and Q's. Always real. Unfortunately, it seems like Bizzy didn't get out quite fast enough. In January of 2022, he was taken into police custody after a SWAT team descended on his Hackensack, New Jersey home. After the raid was complete, police say that they found more than 2 pounds of marijuana, $2,700 in cash, as well as a revolver that was loaded with hollow point bullets. Following those discoveries, Bizzy was booked in a Bergen County jail, where he was hit with multiple charges, including unlawful possession of a weapon, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia, as well as money laundering. How does $2,700 get you money laundering, bro? Police in New York are crazy. In June of 2022, there was some hope that he was going to be released from Bergen. But as it turns out, he wasn't released. Instead, he was transferred to Rikers Island while also having yet another charge added to his list, attempted murder, which is definitely not a good sign. This story is crazy. Thankfully, a couple months later, in August of 2022, Banks would finally find himself a free man after spending nearly 8 months behind bars. And he certainly had his priorities in order upon coming out of jail and knowing what he wanted to do first.
What was the first thing you did when you got out?
Got some pussy.
Yeah, Bizzy. Yeah, Bizzy. That's the shit I like to hear, bro.
So will Bizzy Banks ultimately manage to beat these charges like he did his first at 19? Well, just gonna have to wait and see how things shake out. I mean, after all, this is before they were famous. But thank you everybody for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to make sure that you never miss out on an episode. And if you'd like to check out a few other entries in this series, then search for our recent looks in the Trap Boy Freddy, Sugar Hill Keem, or Sugar Hill D-Dot. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.